Hello, my marvelous people. Today I'll be delving into the Monsterverse and exploring the much-feared monster Leviathan, which traces its origins back in the Bible, as well as Scotland. I'll be looking into the myths, legends, and ties associated with Leviathan, its physical capabilities and strengths, and its possible role in the Monsterverse as a formidable villain to Godzilla. And I'm sure you're curious to know how a creature like Leviathan is connected to a monster like Godzilla. Stay tuned to find out. Mythological origins of Leviathan, the biblical beast. As far as myths and legends go, the sea serpent Leviathan is described in the Bible by Job in the Old Testament. God created this enormous marine animal, which is typically compared to a whale or a serpentine crocodile. The term Leviathan may also refer to a huge aquatic animal, a reptilian ocean monster, or something extremely large and strong, as the Monsterverse films have demonstrated. Many of the old myths and legends can be explained by the fact that people were once aware of the Titans. Godzilla is much older than humans, and mammals for that matter, and he has occasionally appeared in human history. Accordingly, it's quite possible that the Hebrew Bible was referring to a real creature that would have been fairly well known. As per the map of known Titan locations in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, one of them, in Scotland, is referred to as Leviathan. However, Godzilla closely resembles the Leviathan described in the Book of Job and a number of other ancient religious texts. It's also been described as a dragon, or a large animal that resembles a crocodile. Due to their perceived extreme power, Leviathan has also been compared to its opposite, Behemoth, which is another biblical beast that emerged during the time of creation. The Leviathan has impenetrable scales that shoot fire from its mouth and is usually unaffected by human weapons, and can cause natural disasters simply by moving. The sea monster is also said to possess rows of sharp teeth and a body as hard as rock. Another thing Leviathan is notorious for is leaving a glistening wake or having eyes, like the rays of dawn. The statement "nothing on earth is his equal" is also found in the Book of Job, which supports Godzilla's position as king. Naturally, the only creature to challenge its authority was from a different planet. Scotland's hidden giant, Outpost 49, and the Loch Ness connection. Although its name implies a second connection to a much older beast, Leviathan served as the inspiration for the tale of the long-necked reptilian creature that was allegedly first sighted in Scotland in 1933. While Leviathan is referred to as a female in some myths, it is referred to as a male in others. Since the 7th century AD, people have been seeing Leviathan in the form of the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie, an aquatic serpentine cryptid, in Loch Ness, Scotland. Monsterverse lore specifically states that the legend of the Loch Ness Monster originated from sporadic sightings of Leviathan. After Monarch discovered Leviathan in Loch Ness, Outpost 49 was constructed around it. The inside of the Once in a Maritime, a ship manned by cryptid enthusiasts, features a photograph of the Loch Ness Monster. The 1934 surgeon's photograph served as its inspiration. The monster Leviathan, also referred to Titanus Leviathan for scientific purposes, whose name appeared on one of the computer screens at Monarch's base, is one of the Titans that is absent from the film Godzilla, King of the Monsters. In Loch Ness, Scotland, at Outpost 49, Leviathan is being closely observed. Furthermore, the novelization of King of the Monsters confirms that he travels through the water, which further clarifies his true identity if his location isn't already obvious. In addition, many Loch Ness Monster theorists think that Loch Ness is connected to the sea by tunnels beneath it, known as the Hollow Earth Tunnels, that lie beneath Loch Ness. Leviathan is said to be able to travel the oceans, to enter and exit whenever it wants to. The Awakening, Ghidorah's alpha call, and Leviathan's response. Only 9 of the 17 Titans that are revealed to exist in the Monsterverse actually appear in Godzilla, King of the Monsters. At the heart of the action are 4 Titans: Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla, and King Ghidorah. King Kong, the 5th Monsterverse Titan, is an American pop culture icon that made his debut in 1933. The other 4 are all classic Toho Kaiju. The remaining Titans are unique to the Monsterverse. The call of Ghidorah awakens all the Titans from their slumber, but none of them participate in the monster fights. After Godzilla defeats Ghidorah, some of these Titans, like Scylla and Methuselah, appear in the film, but others are absent. The Leviathan escapes and starts hunting with its new pack. When Ghidorah summons all the Titans, Leviathan does not make it to the battle in time to see Godzilla regain his position as the alpha of all Titans when the Orca summons them all to Boston. And Ghidorah's devil-like imagery works because of the Leviathan connection. At the heart of this theme is Ghidorah's status as an alien invasive species, or a fallen angel. Ghidorah is a gilded creature of light who usurps the natural order, which is Godzilla's kingdom. His pride drives him to attempt to change the planet to suit his preferences, to claim a throne that doesn't belong to him. Serpentine terror, physical design, and appearance. Titanus Leviathan exclusively ruled the sea, as we already know. It's said that seafarers and fishermen alike regarded Titanus Leviathan as a god with eyes that glowed like twin moons and scales as dark as the abyss. According to legend, it could calm the raging seas with a single roar and call forth storms with a flick of its tail. When the sea yielded to its will, he demanded that those who ventured to sail on its waters be treated with reverence and respect. Typically, the Leviathan takes the shape of a snake or any other kind of aquatic animal that it wants. The truth is that Leviathan is more of a combination of various marine life forms into one powerful sea beast. The features of the Leviathan are similar to those of a snake, a kraken, or a fish. Mortals only see its shade or a gigantic sea serpent because they can't fully understand its face. Even Dante's own sword couldn't pierce the Leviathan's hide, which is long-lasting, and no other earthly or even supernatural weapon is said to be able to pass through it, with overlapping scales as big as shields on its back and as hard and sharp as shattered pottery on its undersides. The Leviathan's skin resembles a double coat of mail. Man-made bullets, harpoons, and swords, with all, just bounce off such a defense. Powers of the deep, hypothetical abilities, and capabilities. But I feel like it sounds more like Godzilla than Nessie. In the description of the Leviathan so far, one of Godzilla's designers, Tomoyuki Tanaka, referred to Godzilla as the son of the atomic bomb, where the dark side of the human soul has given rise to this nightmare, and he represents the apocalyptic sacred beast. Even the most courageous of men would shudder at the sight of a terrifying Leviathan, making anyone who opposes it cover in fear. A plethora of fish and other marine life have been seen flanking and encircling the Leviathan, demonstrating its complete dominion over the ocean's inhabitants. Much like her fellow primordial beasts, nearly any man-made structure can be destroyed by the burning lights that the Leviathan can project. Its eyes are known to emit a brilliant light that resembles the shimmering light of the dawn from its fins. This is demonstrated by the Leviathan's use of countless bioelectric feelers surrounding its mouth, which gather solar photokinetic energy from the water's surface and transfer it to its own body to create incredibly potent energy blasts, capable of destroying cruise ships in a single explosion. Using multiple patches of just a few connected feelers, the Leviathan can even produce scaled-down versions of these attacks. The strongest magicians could have teamed up to protect a whole region from the attacks, but even then, the force of these tiny explosions was enough to overwhelm their defenses. The Leviathan's region becomes lethal simply by charging the attack because the water gets so hot. Size matters. Leviathan among the Titans. In the book of Job, it's also mentioned that the Leviathan despises haughty and conceited people. When the Leviathan is hungry, he releases heat from his mouth that would cause all of the deep's waters to boil, especially when it swam on the surface. And if he were to descend into paradise, no living thing could stand the smell of him. The Mediterranean Sea serves as his home, and the Jordanian waters fall into his mouth. It rules over all marine life with brutality and fearlessness. Often regarded as one of the biggest sea-dwelling kaiju, this majestic titan's length is estimated to be an astounding 1,300 feet, which is definitely an unfathomable size. For comparison, Tiamat, another aquatic titan, renowned for her slithering form and powerful fighting skills, is much smaller than that. To put it in perspective, Leviathan would be a true giant among titans, dwarfing both Godzilla, approximately 393 feet tall, and even King Ghidorah, approximately 521 feet tall. in wingspan. The gargantuan size of Leviathan isn't merely for show in combat, it changes the rules. In underwater settings, where size often equates to power, Leviathan dominates through sheer bulk. Consider this. A Titan this size could unleash shock waves that confuse smaller enemies by generating tremendous water pressure with its movements. Furthermore, Leviathan's thicker armor-like skin makes it difficult to harm or penetrate through. In a grappling match, its immense strength could easily defeat other sea titans like Tiamat, and it could crush or even pin opponents to the ocean floor with its sheer weight. Leviathan's role in the Monsterverse hierarchy. Let's now explore the intriguing dynamics of Leviathan in the Monsterverse. Often envisioned as a destroyer titan, similar to King Ghidorah, Leviathan is notable for having the potential to exist solely for the purpose of causing destruction and chaos when let loose. In contrast to Godzilla, who represents harmony and serves as Earth's guardian, since it's a force that disturbs rather than heals. This categorization might imply that Leviathan, like Ghidorah, acts outside of nature, due to either external influences or innate aggression. This brings us to the next biblical allusion in the Monsterverse, Leviathan's relationship to Behemoth. In Ziz, Behemoth ruled the land, Leviathan ruled the seas, and last but not the least, Ziz ruled the skies. Behemoth is practically thematically opposite to Leviathan because of its mammoth-like appearance and capacity to restore force. It appears to represent creation and balance. According to some theories, due to their powers, they were rivals or opposing forces bound to clash. It's possible that this relationship might also allude to a common ancestry or history that existed before the dawn of humanity. Hollow Earth highways. Leviathan's underground network. The vast Hollow Earth tunnel system, a crucial aspect of Monsterverse geography, enables Leviathan to travel throughout the world. These underground passageways serve as a secret system of underwater routes that link remote waterways like Loch Ness with larger oceans. Leviathan and other aquatic titans can travel swiftly and erratically around the world, thanks to this system which completely avoids surface geography, further emphasizing how interconnected the Earth's geography is. For example, the connection to Loch Ness implies that Leviathan might appear from places that appear to be landlocked, surprising humanity and solidifying its reputation as a mysterious sea monster. It's believed that other titans of Leviathan's immense size could be housed within the vast Hollow Earth tunnels. The tunnels most likely take advantage of subduction zones and deep ocean trenches, two natural geological formations that offer both accessibility and concealment. As highways for migration, hunting, and evasion, these passageways are essential to aquatic titan survival and dominance. These tunnels are essential to the balance of power and titan ecology. In the Monsterverse, Hollow Earth tunnels make it possible for titans like Leviathan to show up out of the blue, which add dramatic storytelling moments, but also lay the groundwork for major international conflicts. Future threat. Why Leviathan could be the next big villain. The destructive and chaotic nature of Leviathan, in contrast to Godzilla, may pave the way for future titanic battles, further upsetting the equilibrium. If Leviathan were to become a rogue force, it could threaten Godzilla's position as Earth's guardian, putting the planet's survival and balance of power to the ultimate test. Leviathan might potentially become the biggest threat to the Monsterverse, outperforming King Ghidorah due to the former being known as Destroyer Titan. Leviathan's link to heightened activity within Hollow Earth tunnels may indicate its reawakening, upsetting the Titan ecosystem. Because Leviathan is skilled at using this tunnel system, it can strike anywhere in the world, causing major chaos and urgency. In some hypothetical futures, Kong and Godzilla might band together to oppose this enormous force. Leviathan's awakening, according to fan theories, might provide additional insight into Titan's beginnings, extending Monsterverse lore and emphasizing themes of destruction versus unity in a titanic worldwide conflict, the unseen terror. While Leviathan remains hidden, in order to maintain its mythological mystique and heightened suspense, Leviathan is purposefully absent from the Monsterverse. The Godzilla franchise capitalizes on the power of the unknown. By largely omitting this potentially world-ending titan, fans can make assumptions about Leviathan's size, powers, and impact because of its ominous presence as a mysterious threat, adding more depth to the Monsterverse lore. A new era of epic battles and more extensive lore could be ushered in if Leviathan were to fully emerge, redefining the Titan's power dynamics and forcing humanity and its guardians Godzilla and Kong to face their biggest obstacle to date. Marvelous verdict. Because Leviathan represents chaos and destruction, unlike any Titan before his mysterious presence in the Monsterverse. I think it adds a layer of heightened intrigue and suspense. Its unseen nature maintains its mythological aura and feeds various fan theories. Leviathan acts as a future threat that could upset the Titan ecosystem and force Godzilla, Kong, and humanity to form alliances in order to stop its global spread through the hollow Earth tunnels. The Monsterverse power dynamics would be completely altered if this biblical monster materialized, adding to its never-ending lore and presenting epic battles that examine themes of destruction versus unity in the struggle for Earth's survival. Until then, I guess I'll be waiting for what's in store in the massive Godzilla franchise.